Ciao, I'm Enzo.
I'm Celia.
This is our channel where we show you how life is in Lucca.
And in the Tuscan hills.
I love cooking traditional food.
And we love exploring our beautiful part of the world.
So please subscribe and welcome
to Piazza Talk Lucca. Ciao a tutti.
Ciao a tutti.
And welcome to Somerset, not Tuscany. The one advantage of not having Limora anymore is that we can travel. And so here we are in my dearest friend's beautiful garden in the heart of Somerset. And this little corner of Somerset is a hive of creative activity, which has its connections with Tuscany, or I should say not with Tuscany, with Italy.
With Italy in general.
So Jane is a chocolatier and she uses limoncello as well as Sorrento figs in her chocolates. John makes pipes and plays and composes. And we in Italy have Samponia, which are certainly a relation. During editing, we realised that this video would be very long and we hope they're both interesting. So we decided to split them in two. And so this video is about Jane's chocolates. And the next one in Somerset will be about John's bagpipes. Come with us and discover this little magical corner. We've come inside to Jane's barn, and Jane is a chocolatier in this little corner of activity and creativity in Somerset. If you look out of her workshop, you can see the tour of Glastonbury. So you can't say you have bad working conditions.
No, not at all. I am extremely fortunate. Also just working right next to the house, so I don't have to commute.
That is a big,
it's a big joy.
A big joy, a big joy. Though it does mean one has to do domestic chores in between. In the workshop, you actually do two things, don't you? You do a workshop where people can learn how to make chocolates, and you produce chocolates. And these ganaches, these flavours you've developed.
Yes.
And as a recipient of many of these wonderful chocolates, I can say that these are what make your chocolates different.
I think so. I mean, I'm sure there are other chocolatiers around the country doing similar work, but I try and use as little sugar as possible. So there's no added sugar in any of the ganaches. I just use fresh cream, fresh herbs from the garden when possible, fresh fruit purees and spices, and of course the chocolate. There's a little bit of chocolate a little bit of sugar in the dark chocolate. I don't use any artificial flavours or colours or preservatives. The only preservative I use is alcohol, and the alcohol enhances some of the flavours. For example, coffee and Somerset cider brandy, or bitter orange, cinnamon and Grand Marnier. But in the simple herb flavours, I use a little bit of natural alcohol, which you can't taste, but it has the same effect of extending the shelf life. I try to develop and experiment with lots of herbs in different flavours.
Yes, and we've done some tasting on different ones and give our opinion over the years. And but I mean, you've got a huge range actually now.
I have about 22 different flavours. A lot of them are herbs. So, for example, even during the winter, we can use herbs from the garden: lemon and bay, rosemary and toasted hazelnut, salted almond and thyme. And then when the summer herbs come in, we've got limoncello and sweet basil, raspberry mint and liqueur. John very kindly gave me a copy of Nikki Segnit's inspirational book, The Flavour Thesaurus. It's based on unusual flavour pairings. Yeah. So I've taken a lot of inspiration from Nikki Segnit. So I owe her a huge thank you.
And if you do a workshop here, at the end of the day, do you have the capability to go home and make your own chocolates?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, the boxes.
I'm very fortunate in that a number of people say that the packaging is one of the things that really attract them to buying Gilbert and Swayne chocolates. My lovely sister-in-law Dinah, who lives next door, is a retired book conservator, and she covers some of the lids in Italian paper. Shall we go downstairs?
We're now down in the heart of the workshop, and here is where the magic happens, and the actual chocolate making is done by, for commercial reasons, as opposed to courses, for Jane and Bojana. And Bojana actually lived in Rome. There are no Italian touches in these chocolates.
Yes, we do at Christmas, and in the autumn we do chocolate-covered physalis, which I first saw in a baker's shop in Lucca.
What's the first stage, Jane?
Well,
first of all, we should say that you might think that you don't wash chocolate molds.
We don't wash the chocolate
understand.
molds. I mean, maybe twice a year, and we certainly don't put them in the dishwasher. All right,
Because
so
it
we
damages them.
yes, we normally just clean them with a little bit of cotton wool or a clean cloth, just the insides, and then we scrape off any excess chocolate from the outside. And first, tempering.
And what exactly is tempering chocolate?
Tempering is heating, cooling, and movement. It's all about heating, cooling, and movement. And you temper chocolate so that you can have a nice shiny finish. It hasn't got any lines on it, it hasn't bloomed. And if you were to take a small layer of melted chocolate that's tempered and you let it set, when you break it, it would snap and it wouldn't sort of bend. So all the chocolate bars that you buy, all the moulded chocolates and the dipped chocolates have been made with tempered chocolate.
Tempered chocolate.
You don't need to temper chocolate when you make a ganache. It's only when you actually see the chocolate.
Right, so it's more for a visual, and you
It's
can
visual.
see Jane's chocolates are like mirrors.
I show
Sorry.
people how they can temper at home using a microwave.
Oh, right.
And then we go on to tempering with what's known as a heat tank. So you can put all your colettes in, which is just a posh name for chocolate buttons. You put your colettes in and you turn the temperature up to 45 to 50 degrees. The chocolate melts. Once it's reached that temperature, you then temper it by using what's known as the seed method. So you put a percentage of the original amount in. I put about a fifth in, some people put a third in, and you keep stirring it. So you put a fifth of unmelted colettes in. So we add about a fifth of the original amount, turn it down to 32 degrees, because I nearly always use dark, and that's the temperature that you want dark chocolate to be tempered at.
Right.
And then the advantage is you can remove this and put it on a cold surface and keep stirring until it gets to 32. Then I show people how they can fill their mould. And to make the first layer of chocolate, the chocolate shell, you need a clean scraper, your tempered chocolate, big spoon, a tray with some baking paper on top, and your mould. Now, these are polycarbonate moulds. It's much better to use solid moulds rather than silicone moulds if you're going to be making moulded chocolates, and you'll see why in a minute. This is what's known as a magnetic mould, which is what people use when they come on courses for the first time. And the reason we use magnetic moulds is that you can get pretty patterns on top of them. And in my experience and Bojana's experience, people, if they're making chocolates for the first time, get a much more professional result if they're using magnetic moulds. So basically, it's a mould with each cavity is open at the bottom, but it has magnets on the other side. You get your transfer sheet, and you can get these from Keeling in various designs. You place the cocoa butter side down next to the magnets. You then put your metal sheet on top, and the metal sheet holds the transfer in place.
Yeah.
And then as quickly as you can, you fill every single cavity with your tempered chocolate. So you don't want to take too long about it, because you don't want the chocolate to set before you've had time to turn out the excess chocolate. And I'll show you how you do that in a minute. Great. So you've filled all the cavities. You then scrape off, take a bit of chocolate off that's gone down the sides, and then pressing up on the metal sheet, which is really important, and you'll see why in a minute, you tap down, and that gets the air bubbles up. And the reason for pressing up on the metal sheet is that if you didn't, when you tap down, the metal sheet will go boing and some of the chocolate will fall out, which you don't want. Okay, now what you do is you turn it upside down.
Oh, that's the fun
And
bit.
I always say to people, try and turn it upside down over the tank. All right, it's very easy when you're trying to, think about all sorts of things for the first time, to put it at the wrong angle, so you've got chocolate falling down either side.
But how do you know that it's not going to come off your sides and that you're going to get an equal amount on your sides?
It just happens like that. That's about the thickness that you need. And then you scrape off the excess, place it upside down on a tray, and by some miracle, and it still amazes me, it doesn't all fall out.
It's amazing.
It is. You end up with, this is a chocolate shell. So this is what it will look like. This one is going to be our Dettata fig and rum chocolate, and the Dettata figs come from Sorrento in southern Italy, and they're slow roasted for 12 hours, and they're like toffee. They are delicious. This is Bajena piping a mould.
So what is it? She's got white chocolate there.
Yes.
So you have to do it in a separate machine.
That is the one that I've hand painted with E3 coloured cocoa butter.
And you paint that at what step? After it's solidified in the fridge?
No. I paint that before we put the first layer of white chocolate on.
So you paint the mould?
I paint the mould.
Oh, okay.
Bajena's made a ganache using fresh raspberries, fresh mint and raspberry liqueur.
And
with
they're
milk
delicious.
chocolate.
And I actually don't usually like white chocolate, but
No,
these
I
are
don't.
not sweet. Jane's chocolates are known as Gilbert and Swayne, and all the details of the website and courses are below in the description box. Jane, thank you for taking us through this, and
You're very
thank
welcome.
you for letting us eat them as well. Over all the years that we've been eating.
It's been really lovely.
So we also want to thank Bajena, our Jane's co-worker and also our Italian connection.
Grazie mille.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe, leave a like and activate the notification bell. You just need a Google account and it's free. It helps our community enormously. Thank you very much.